Hi, everyone. I'm Robyn Lynn Norris. I'm an actor, writer, and improviser based in Los Angeles, and I know everything about Bravo TV.
Hi, I'm Carla. I'm also a writer and improviser based in Los Angeles. I'm Robyn's bestie, and I know absolutely nothing about Bravo TV.
Welcome to the Bravo Bubble, a podcast for Bravo-holics
and their friends who live outside the Bravo bubble.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We are so excited. This is our very first episode of the Bravo Bubble. As Carla said, we are besties and we have so much in common, but there was always a barrier at a certain point when we were hanging out with each other, with other friends. And so that is how our podcast came about. Carla, do you want to tell us how we decided to do this?
Sure. So I started to realize that I was constantly finding myself in conversations about the Real Housewives. And I know nothing about the Real Housewives. I've never watched it. I've never paid attention to any of the people on social media. And so I'm totally clueless. And then I was like, because I'm a curious person and I do like to learn about different things, I finally got to the point where it's like, all right, maybe I should educate myself. And then you and I were having drinks, and I knew that you knew everything about Bravo and the Housewives. And because we're comedians, we're like, we need to do a podcast about this.
Yeah. If I recall, we were having a lovely dessert post dinner, and we were having a really good cocktail.
Yeah.
And then, which we also have, I have one here today as well.
Yes, of course, of course.
And you said, I think I'm going to start watching Bravo. And I kind of freaked out. I was like, what? Like, so excited. And then you said, I think you even might have said you were going to do a podcast. I think I weaseled my way in somehow. So here we are.
That's the thing, right? It's like, I have an idea. Let's do a podcast. So here we are.
Yeah.
Another podcast for your ears.
Yes. And I think there are so many amazing Bravo podcasts out there in the world. And we'll give plugs to some of the ones that that I already love. Carla will be introduced. I think what sets this one apart is this is an education for people. So the people who are Bravo-holics can listen and then be kind of blown away by what Carla doesn't know yet. And we all, as Bravo-holics, have those people in our lives who just aren't inside our bubble, right? They don't get it. My husband, he's outside the bubble. He doesn't want to come in.
Oh, mine too. Same.
Yeah. So this is for both sides. It's for the people who already love Bravo, and it is going to be your guidepost to educate people who you want to pull inside of this universe.
Yes.
So I have spent a lot of time, because I had a blast doing it. I've created a quiz for Carla. We're just going to assess her current Bravo knowledge. Yep. And then I'm going to take those results and determine where she should start in the Bravo universe, because it is quite large. I think you know at least that much, Carla. I've been trying not to say anything for weeks and weeks about.
Oh my gosh, it's been so. I feel like every day now I hear about the Housewives or something, and I'm trying to ignore all of it.
Yes, and now you won't have to, because it'll be part of our show. We don't know where this is going to go. We don't know where she's going to start.
Will I like it? I don't even know if I'll like it.
Exactly. You might hate it.
I might hate it, and then we're doing a podcast, and that's just the way it goes.
And you're stuck. It'll be like homework that you don't like. So
I have a question for you,
yes.
Which is, obviously I have no history with any of this, but what is your history with this?
Oh, yes. I'm not sure exactly how I got in, and I can't reference the shows yet, because those are some of the questions for you, Carla.
Okay.
In a moment. I will say, I believe I was on board. I've been on board for a while.
Yes.
Oh, there's a show I just realized I didn't include on the quiz that was one of my gateway entries that I
So there's
love.
multiple shows.
There are
Okay.
multiple shows, and it's kind of an escape for me. And as you know, I was working on a project for several years that
Mm-hmm.
I wrote and was in, and it was a wonderful project that went on for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was isolated at that time. I was often in Chicago, back and forth by myself, and Bravo gave me comfort. It made me
Mm-hmm.
feel like I had friends. Their problems seemed way worse than all the stress I was carrying at the time, which was quite a bit. It it just helps me unwind. And part of the reason I think you might like it, and we'll get to this a little bit later, is because I know that you are a huge soap opera fan.
I am.
And
From the
yes,
90s, not currently, but like when I was younger, I was way into
yes.
soaps.
And there is a kind of cheesy over the topness to a lot of these
Melodrama. I
shows.
dig it. I
Yes,
dig melodrama. So, one
which
of the
I love.
reasons I've been putting this off, first of all, I'm not super into celebrity culture of, like influencers and that sort of
Hmm.
thing. And I'm not a snob. I already have like enough obsessions and addictions that I don't need to dip my toe into that too.
Hmm.
And so I've always been a little afraid that I will love it and that I will, and then all of a sudden I'm spending hours every day watching these shows. I have a real fear of loving it too much. So
I mean, that could happen. I
yes,
spend a lot
yes,
of hours watching these shows, listening to
yes.
podcast recaps of the shows that make me laugh even more.
Hmm.
Shout out Watch What Crappens. That's one of my favorites.
Yes,
And
yes.
Bitch Sesh kind of pulled me into this world. And
And I
yeah,
have weird connections to all of these people who do podcasts about these. Like I was
yes.
on an improv team with Ronnie from
Hmm.
Watch What Crappens. So I've still never listened to that. I can't wait to listen because I want to support him, obviously.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and Amy Phillips, who like makes
Hmm.
her living doing housewife impressions, which I've
Yeah.
seen her do those, but I just don't know who those people are. But
Right.
we know her from improv from years ago.
Yes.
She's just always been around and been amazing at impressions. So
Hmm.
I'm really excited to like understand what she's doing.
Oh, we're pulling you into this
No,
world.
yeah,
It does
yeah.
take a lot of time, and we're going to have field trips, Carla. We're going to have extracurricular
I can't
activities.
wait. I want to
It's
go
going
to
to
the
be,
restaurants. I know that restaurants are involved. I
you
don't know
know, there
what
are.
restaurants they are, but I know
Uh,
that there are. Yeah,
They are, and we will. Oh, I'm so excited.
can't wait.
Okay, are you ready to dive into this
I'm
quiz?
ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so for everyone listening along, we're going to have little mini quizzes every week, and you can always find those in the show notes. So if you have a friend who you want to give these quizzes to every week, you can do that. And then you could both listen to the podcast and find out the answers. So the first question for you, though, is very general, Carla. I just want you to tell, what do you know about Bravo? Like, what are the big picture things that you know about Bravo?
Yes. So I know that, well, Bravo, it didn't used to just be housewife stuff, right? It used to be
Correct.
like, it's been on wasn't it like, was it old movies or something? Now I don't really know.
It was an arts channel.
An
Yeah,
arts
they had
channel. Yeah. Like indie films and stuff, right?
yes, and this
Maybe?
won't give anything away because it's not on anymore, but Inside the Actors Studio,
Yes,
that was the
totally.
big
Yep.
one. Way back in the day, my favorite TV show of all time outside of Bravo is Twin Peaks, and they famously re-aired Twin Peaks
Yes.
early on.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I've
think that
loved
when I was in
Bravo
college,
forever.
they did that. Yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
remember watching, and it was more of like, yeah, it was more like culture,
Hmm.
which I guess, housewives are now. But, um,
It's different
anyways,
now.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I remember when I was like in high school and college that Bravo was. Did I answer the question?
No, that's a great answer. And
Okay.
then what do you think it is now? Like, what do
Oh,
you
what do I think it is
associate with
now?
it?
Well, if you when you say Bravo to me now, I think of what's the guy from the late night show?
Yes.
And I have seen that show, not entirely, but he does have actors that I like on. So like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Dan Levy on and Catherine O'Hara, like when Schitt's Creek
Mm-hmm.
was on, and like yeah, like Nicola Coughlan. I watched her on there this year, and she's like super into the Housewives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't remember his name.
I love that you don't. I was like,
Yeah,
should I tell her? His
yeah.
name
What
is
is it?
Andy Cohen.
Yes, of
He's
course.
very
Yes, yes, yes.
famous.
He's very famous. He's friends with like I just saw him in a picture today with Amy Sedaris, who I love.
Yes, he's got a lot of
So I have respect for him
besties.
already because she's the best.
He's hilarious. I think that show is so funny. Like in it, it's written in a way that like all the puns and the games they play is like my wheelhouse. So I just
Great.
love that you associate it with the celebrities you like that aren't on
Yeah.
Bravo, and that's
Yeah.
great, great.
But I guess that was probably I'm assuming like the way that he started was interviewing these housewives. Is that right?
Yes, I believe so. It
Okay.
actually was a spinoff, I think, if I have my history right, because I have read his books as well. He was
Yeah.
a journalist and is a journalist. And then these shows were on, and he hosted what is called a reunion. And he was
Okay.
hosting reunions, I think, of a different show that wasn't Housewives that we'll get to later. And people were like, he was working at Bravo, and they were like, oh, you're good at this. And then the show evolved.
I
So
see.
now he kind of rose up, but he was behind the scenes. He has a big journalism background, and then
And now he's like a
rose
talk
up.
show host.
Mhm.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, okay,
Great.
that's a good answer to the question. Those are kind of it's
Thank
very,
you.
very general. If you asked me
Yeah.
that question, it would be an hours long answer. So we're gonna move on. This is something I'm probably gonna ask every week. I'm gonna call it the Bravo, Bravo, blah, blah, Bravo, which will make sense
Can't
to
wait.
the listeners. It's kind of like blah, blah, blah. You mentioned earlier that like you every week now you're hearing topics about housewives. So I'll probably ask you this every week. Did something come up this week where you that stood out to you?
Hmm. What came up this week? Yeah. Oh gosh. What was it? It was something on social media. I think one of the maybe Trixie Mattel or one of the drag queens I follow was maybe talking to a housewife. And I was like, first I was like, who is this person talking
Mm.
to? And then I looked up the person they were talking to and they have like millions of followers. And I was like, this must be a housewife.
Oh,
So sometimes like these things will just pop up in my Instagram feed because I do follow like it's not like I'm in a bubble.
you're
No,
yeah, you're
I'm in a bubble, but I'm not in that, I'm aware of popular culture, just
yes.
not this specifically. Yeah.
That's a fantastic answer, and that helps me know where to
Okay.
start you. Trixie is involved on one of the shows,
Okay.
so they are a part of it and on some level, and they're fabulous and amazing. So that tracks. Okay, so
Great.
this is going to be your homework, though. I want you, Carla, as you go throughout the week. If something comes up, just make a little note
Make a
and
list. Okay.
bring it back to the next podcast because I just want to hear.
Yeah.
I
Shoot, I
love
wish I
that.
was already doing that. I will start doing that. There was something also I was reading and they were referencing a fight between two women, like a famous fight. And then I was like, don't read anymore. Don't, but
Yeah,
I wasn't reading about the housewives. It
right.
was like something totally different.
Yeah. Well, and now here's the deal. Now you're going to be able to dip in a little bit.
Yeah.
Your blinders are off. You're allowed to look things up. So,
Great.
great. That was a good question. Now we're going to get even more specific.
Okay.
You know that housewives are a thing.
Hmm.
How many versions of housewives do you think there are or have been? Or do you even know how the housewives are categorized? Let me start there.
I think I do. I think it's by city.
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct. Ding, ding, ding. Good.
Woo!
So, how many official Bravo cities have there been or are there?
So I either want to say 4 or 30. Like I have no idea. I have
That's
no
amazing.
idea.
Can you name any that you think you may have heard of?
Yes, I definitely have heard of Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I've heard of.
Wow.
But I can name other cities that I know that it probably would be. Like New
What's a
York.
city you think there might be in New York? This is blowing my mind.
Miami, probably. Miami feels
Oh,
like
Miami, good guess. What other cities do you think might be ripe for housewiveries?
Cleveland. No, I don't know.
I would love it if there was. There's not.
That would be amazing. Chicago.
Mhm.
Uh,
There is not a Chicago.
Orange County.
Hmm. There is an Orange County. There is a New York. You got those. And Miami.
Okay.
So
Do I
that's
keep
good.
going?
If you have any others that you think,
Dallas. Dallas. There's a lot of rich people in Dallas.
good guess.
Yeah.
Dallas is one of them. Wow.
Oh, what about like not Nashville? That's like too Nashville?
No, I think that would be cool. Nashville is not one currently.
But I feel like there must be one in like South Carolina or something, right? Like
Mm.
rich Southern women. That'd be fun.
No,
No? Okay.
not there.
That's all I
Okay,
got.
that's
That's all
good.
I got.
I love it. Okay. So the number there from my count, and we may get mail, we may get people shouting at me if I'm wrong on any of these, is 11 official. That doesn't count
Oh.
internet. There's a lot of international ones. I'm talking the official
Oh.
Bravo ones we see here in the US. Which one do you think was the first one? It's one of the ones you said.
I think it's probably New Jersey, right? No.
No, it's Orange
Shoot.
County.
Orange County.
Yes.
Okay. And it was
And
called Orange County, The Real Housewives of Orange
it,
County.
yes, it was
Okay.
developed as a show. I believe it was called Behind the Gates. And it was
Um,
about these women in gated communities.
mhm.
And Jersey's not a bad guess, though, because Jersey is kind of iconic for making things even jump up in popularity because of a
Hmm.
very specific moment that happened on that show. Do you know
Okay.
what that is?
No idea.
Okay, great. Love that you don't know these things. This is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to tell you what the cities are. Okay.
Okay.
Orange County,
Uh-huh.
first. New Jersey, no, sorry, New York City.
Uh-huh.
Atlanta, you got
Uh-huh.
that. Jersey, you got
Uh-huh.
that. DC.
Oh,
This,
interesting.
this one you did not get, and it's close to us. Beverly Hills.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Potomac, which is outside of DC. That gets a little of the East Coast wealthy. They're not Southern. It's a good one though.
Okay.
Dallas, which was I'm shocked that you got, and I love it. Salt Lake City,
Oh, weird.
weird and amazing. One of
I can't
one of
wait.
my absolute faves. And
Wow.
outside of the country, Dubai.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That makes
very,
sense. But they
very
haven't done like
glamorous.
London or Paris or anything like that?
They have spin-offs, but they're not
Oh,
officially
I see.
here. Like Dubai was one they developed and they aired it here in the US, and it was yeah, there are lots and lots of other ones. They're just not produced
Got
under
it.
the exact umbrella, if that makes sense. Now,
Yes.
there are some cities that didn't make it. So, of those that I just listed, any guess on which ones may have gotten canceled?
Ooh. So wait, does that mean it was shot and never aired because
No,
it
it
was so
means,
bad?
great question. It means that it was aired and then no longer renewed or canceled.
Wait a second. All 11 of those are still going?
No, three, oh, some of them have been canceled. Any guesses on which ones? I can repeat them if
Of the
it
ones
makes
that
any.
you just said, 3 have been canceled. I see
Mhm.
what you mean. Okay. I see. So you're not saying like a different city that we didn't talk about
No,
or okay, okay.
you already know.
Um, the 3 that have been canceled, DC,
Ding, ding, ding.
um, shoot, Dubai. No, darn. I was like,
Not
that's probably
currently.
expensive.
It's a good one.
Um, I forgot all the other ones.
It's okay. I'll do them real quick. Orange County, New
Uh-huh.
York City,
Uh-huh.
Atlanta, New Jersey, DC, you got Beverly Hills, Miami, Potomac, Dallas, Salt Lake City, Dubai.
Oh, Salt Lake City is canceled? No!
No.
Potomac?
Salt Lake City and Potomac going strong.
Okay,
Going
I have no
strong.
idea.
All
I have
right.
no idea.
Your first guess, Dallas.
Oh.
Aired for a couple years and then got canceled. And then the next one's a trick question. It was Miami. It aired
Oh.
for, I believe, 3 seasons. Then it was, they call on Bravo, put on pause or canceled. And then they brought it back in the last couple years. And it is fabulous. Not enough people are watching, I don't think, Miami or Dubai. And they are good.
I have a follow-up question. I don't know if I'm
Yes.
allowed to, you can say I can't answer that if you can't answer it yet.
Sure.
So all of these are currently still running? Like they're making new episodes of them? How often a year do they do that?
Well,
What
that's
are
the
the
great
seasons?
thing. That's the great thing, Carla, is because at any given time, there are multiple ones on in the Bravo universe. And the universe is bigger than just Housewives. We'll get to that. At any given time, it'll be Jersey season, or it'll be like, oh, great, it's Beverly Hills season. And so you'll have at least 2 or 3
Oh
that you can keep. And
no.
they kind of, there's crossover themes. Don't worry. You're not going to watch them all at once. I'm going to give you
That's
specific
so
homework.
much content.
Yeah, it's like a soap opera and it's amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't want you to be scared though.
Okay.
All right.
Too late.
Yeah. Next question. You're doing pretty good, I think. It's amazing. Which can you name off the top of your head any
Probably not.
housewives?
Absolutely not. Okay, here's an embarrassing thing. For a long time, I thought the Kardashians were housewives.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And our friend Amanda cleared that up for me.
Okay, good job, Amanda.
Yeah. And they're not even on Bravo, right? The Kardashians. That's like a whole other thing. Oh, E, of course. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Isn't there like a countess or something? I think I know that from social media.
Okay, that's a good guess. And you off the top of your head can't name a single other housewife. That's amazing.
This
is unbelievable. Okay.
Deborah. I have no idea.
There's no, not that if there's a Deborah.
Diana.
There was a Deborah, but minor character, not real. There was a Diana, not well liked. Sorry, everyone. So I'm going to name you some names, and then I want you to guess what city they are. Okay, based on the name. This will go quick. We won't spend too much time on it. Okay, Bethany Frankel.
Oh, I've heard of her. I have heard of her. She's like the most famous, right?
She's one of the most famous. Yeah. Any guesses of what city?
New Jersey.
New York.
Okay,
decent guess. All right, Teresa Giudice, or Giudice, as some people pronounce it.
Atlanta.
Jersey. This is great. Jules Weinstein.
I mean, New York?
New York, good job. Now I'm going to add a follow-up question with, like you said, with Bethany. I want you to tell me if they are iconic or not iconic. So Bethany, iconic. Teresa, I skipped her. Teresa Giudice of Jersey, iconic or not iconic?
I've never heard of her, so I'm going to say not iconic.
Great. Jules Weinstein of New York.
Not iconic.
Great. Vicky Gunvalson.
What Gunvalson? City?
Yeah.
Atlanta? DC?
OC.
OC, of course.
Iconic or not iconic?
That's an iconic name, even though I've never heard of her. Is she iconic?
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. All right. Carlton Jebbia. What
Carlton?
city? Mm-hmm.
Is this a female name?
Mm-hmm.
Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I hope I didn't offend anyone.
No.
Carlton, okay. What's the last name? Jebbia?
Gebbia.
Jebbia. Okay.
Jebbia.
No. Dubai. I don't know.
That's okay. Beverly Hills. Iconic or not iconic?
Not iconic.
Great. Kyle Richards.
Kyle Richards.
Also a female name.
Okay. Um, I don't know. I've forgotten everything. Miami,
Okay, no. Beverly Hills. Iconic or not iconic?
not iconic.
I love this so much. She is very iconic.
She is? Oh,
Yes.
oh, I thought you were saying I was getting them all right when
No.
you were like nodding, like, okay.
I mean,
And
I'm nodding because it's amazing. I will
I thought you were
have
like,
your,
good job, Carla, good
you know,
job.
well, you are doing a good job because
Okay, okay,
you can't know what you don't know.
right.
And this is helping me assess where to start you. Only a couple more. Portia Williams.
Well, I love that name. Portia's
Mhm,
a fun, that feels like a housewife name to
mhm.
me. Portia Williams is absolutely from Potomac,
Okay. That's a
and
good
she's so
guess.
iconic.
Great. She is iconic. She's from Atlanta. All
Okay.
right. Nene Leakes.
Nene Leakes must be iconic. And she must be from Beverly Hills.
Oh, that's a good guess. She's Atlanta and
Okay.
she's very iconic. Dorinda Medley.
Ooh. Are these all of their real names or did they make these up for
I
the show?
believe these are their real names.
Okay. What was it? Dorinda what?
Medley.
Dorinda Medley is absolutely from uh Dallas and she's not iconic.
Okay. New York City. I think she's pretty iconic.
Okay.
Okay, good. Lisa Rinna.
Oh, I know Lisa Rinna. She's from Days of Our Lives.
I knew
She's
you'd know her.
married to what's his face? Whose
She'll
name I
say
can't
it.
remember.
She'll say it in every sentence.
Yeah. And well that would be Beverly Hills probably, right?
Correct.
And she's iconic. She played Billy Reed on Days of Our Lives in 1996 or something.
Yes, I had to
Yeah.
include her for you.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
A couple more. Leah Black.
Leah Black, Atlanta. No. Leah
No.
Black, Beverly Hills.
Miami.
Leah Black, Miami.
hmm
Iconic.
Okay, good. I think that's right. Leanne Locken.
Leanne Locken, Atlanta.
Okay.
We,
Dallas.
we haven't had any Atlantans, I don't think.
We have
We have?
Nene and Portia.
Oh, Nene. Okay. Um, and she's iconic.
Okay, good. I'm trying to do one from every city,
I
at
think
least one.
they're all iconic, right? Is the answer.
No, they're not all iconic.
Okay,
There's
okay, okay.
uh Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, I've heard of Lisa Vanderpump. She is Vanderpump Rules,
Yes.
which I absolutely know about. I know
hmm
nothing about it except for the name.
hmm
Um, so that would be I know she has a restaurant here, so she's probably Beverly Hills.
Correct.
And she is iconic.
Hugely so in my book. All right.
Yeah.
Two more. Karen Huger.
Karen Huger, Atlanta,
Okay, close. Potomac.
Potomac, iconic. They're
Yes.
all iconic.
They're not all.
Okay, okay.
You're
I'm
doing great.
sweating. I'm
You're
sweating.
oh, I don't want you to stretch.
No,
You
you're
really are
good.
doing good. All right,
Okay.
last one. Chanel Ion.
Chanel Ion from Beverly Hills.
Okay. Dubai.
I was gonna say Dubai.
It's Chanel sounds very Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it does sound Californian. And what not iconic.
Okay. I think she's iconic for her franchise. That great. Carla, you are crushing it. This is great. All right.
Okay,
Now, I'm loving this. Now I'm going to
sweating.
ask you who is the longest running of these four. Now, actually, am I going to say that? Yeah. Vicky Gunvalson. I'm just going to ask you of these four, who is known as like the OG? Vicky Gunvalson, Kyle Richards, Teresa Giudice, or Larsa Pippen?
Say their names again.
Vicky Gunvalson, Kyle Richards, Teresa Giudice, or Larsa Pippen?
Kyle Richards.
Very good guess. She is currently, I believe, the longest running. I might be wrong on that. It might be between her and Teresa. Vicky is known as the OG of the OC. She was in the
Okay.
very, very first one, and she lasted a long time, and she still comes back from time to time.
What's her last name again?
Gunvalson.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I just gave you, that was the first answer for the next question. Okay.
Okay.
These are just general housewives things, and you may not know any of these. So Vicky Gunvalson, OG of the OC. Any guesses to who might be known as the Grand Dame or the ambassador of Surrey County? I'll give you a couple names to choose from. They're people that we've already said. Is it Leanne Locken, Karen Huger, or Kyle Richards?
Kyle Richards.
Okay, good guess. It's Karen Huger. She was the Grand Dame of Potomac. Uh,
Okay.
all right. Who? All right. I'll just ask you which franchise, because you won't know the name, uh, is someone known as Jesus Jugs on?
Jesus Jugs?
Your face.
Uh, which, when you say franchise, you mean city.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I just want to say, uh, oh, Salt Lake City.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great guess. It is a great guess. It's OC, Orange County,
Oh,
Alexis Bellino. All right. Who or what franchise is famous for having a table flip?
oh, I have no idea.
That's amazing. All right. That's New Jersey. That's
Okay.
Teresa. That really kind of made that show iconic. Um, who I'm gonna skip a couple of these because we have a lot of stuff. Who created Skinny Girl Margaritas?
Oh, I've heard of Skinny Girl margaritas. Would this be Bethany Frankel?
Yes, you got it. Good
That's
job.
maybe why I know her, because I remember everybody drinking those at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is, I'm just gonna, oh, this is a good one though. I have to say it. Soggy Flicker is a nickname of somebody on what franchise?
Soggy Flicker.
Hmm.
Gross.
I know.
Gross. Miami.
Okay, great. New Jersey. Her name's
Okay.
Siggy Flicker. All right. This one, all right. What animal does Lisa Vanderpump love the most?
Wait a second. I know this.
Mhm.
Was Lisa Vanderpump the one who visited Trixie at when she was redoing the hotel, the
I don't
motel?
think so.
Oh, never mind. I
Possible,
don't
but I don't think so.
wait,
Just,
favorite animal?
yeah,
Okay,
pick
let's
an
just
animal.
say let's say a tiger.
Okay. It's more broad. She is very passionate about dogs. She also has
Oh,
swans and little mini ponies. She has a lot of animals. She's
okay.
very passionate about dogs. In fact, she had a very famous, beloved dog that her husband would carry around. It was this big.
Aw.
And do you want me to tell you its name? Because I don't think you know it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. The name of the dog is Siggy.
Aw.
Siggy. It's very cute. Okay. Which franchise is known as having the
Wait,
Fox?
was Siggy named after Soggy person?
No, they called her Soggy because she cried a lot. Her name was
Oh,
Siggy. Yeah, that's a good
but the dog
question.
wasn't named after that Siggy.
No, you're right. That is an interesting.
That's odd.
Oh, you know what? It's because I typed it wrong. It's not Siggy. Oh, and we're gonna get mail. It's Jiggy.
Oh.
It's Jiggy. I wrote it
Siggy.
right under the Siggy one, and
Ah!
my word auto corrected it. Everyone,
Oh
I know it.
man.
I know it's Jiggy. It's not Siggy. She would never name her dog after Siggy.
I love this because I feel so bad for you because you have to do so much homework.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm
I love it.
sorry.
I love it. No, it's Jiggy. Jiggy, Jiggy, Jiggy.
Okay.
Okay, that was good. So a couple questions. Which franchise is known for having the Fox Force 5?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
Do you want me
That's
to
that.
just guess a rando?
Yeah, guess one. Because you know the
Dallas.
11. Great. Beverly Hills.
Okay.
which franchise? That's Rinna, Kyle, Dorit, Erica, and Teddy. You'll learn all those people. Which franchise is known as having the Trace Amigas?
I don't know. Miami.
Okay. No. OC. It's Vicky, Shannon, and Tamra, who you'll learn. And see, this is fun. See, I know these are really hard for you because you don't know a
I don't
lot
know
of them.
anything. Yeah.
And for our listeners out there, some of your friends may know more than others. So that's why this quiz has all of these questions. So I'm going to skip ahead. I have a couple quotes, and I want to know which franchise you would associate, think these might come from. All right. The first one is the morally corrupt Faye Resnick. What franchise said that?
Faye Resnick. I think it was New York.
Okay. It was Beverly Hills, and it was Camille Grammer. No, there's no should haves. All right. What franchise is famous for Who Gonna Check Me, Boo?
Who Gonna Check Me, Boo?
Who Gonna Check Me, Boo?
The OC.
Oh, Atlanta.
Oh, I almost said Atlanta, but I was like, I've been guessing Atlanta for
because Atlanta has honestly a lot of the best quotes, and I had to. Funny. There's so many good ones. So that one is.
Right, I'm gonna start guessing Atlanta again.
No, that was really good. All right, now this one is a little mini monologue, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, ready? Which franchise is famous for this? Let me tell you something about my family. We're thick as thieves and we protect each other till the end.
Is that New Jersey?
That is New Jersey.
You did a really good accent, Robyn. I would hire you for a New Jersey housewife if
oh my gosh.
When they make the movie, when Ryan Murphy makes the movie about the New Jersey housewives.
I would love to be in that.
Because it will be Ryan Murphy, obviously.
Of course. Yes, that is from a woman named Caroline Manzo. All right. Last quote. Who said, or what franchise said, I'm gone with the wind, fabulous?
Atlanta.
Yes. Kenya Moore. You got it. Like, I'm glad we ended that section on that. Now, we only have a couple more general questions. I'm putting you in through a lot of them, but I love this. I have to ask you this off the top of your head. Do you know of any other, outside of Housewives, long-running Bravo shows?
Vanderpump Rules.
Correct.
Is that long running? Is that considered? I don't know if that's considered.
Yeah, I'll say long running or famous. Yeah.
Okay.
They may or may not be still on.
Bravo shows. Okay, so these would be are all Bravo shows spinoffs of the Housewives?
No.
Okay.
That one is though.
That one is though, because it's Lisa Vanderpump. Mm-hmm. Okay. What other Bravo shows? I don't know any other.
Okay, that's okay. I'll list some and you can tell me if you've heard of them, if they ring a bell when I say them. Southern Charm.
I feel like I've heard of that, yes.
Great. Yeah. Summer House.
I have never heard of that. Okay. Is that like MTV Beach House?
It's pretty amazing. It's a group that goes to the Hamptons on weekends.
Oh, of course.
And lives in a summer house.
Like Sex in the City. Okay.
Yeah. And it is also technically a spinoff of Vanderpump Rules. There's a whole,
Oh, okay.
Below Deck.
Yes, I've heard of Below Deck.
Great.
And is that about cruise ships?
Yes. Oh, it's about, yachts. Super yachts.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said YAS.
Yes. It's about super
like,
yachts.
Yes, Carla. Yes.
Yes, Carla. It's about yachts. Yatsa. Okay. Great. See, you have heard of these. So this is good. Yeah. Married to Medicine.
Never.
Okay, great.
Definitely sounds like a network procedural.
It's okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Now, I watch almost all the Bravo shows. That is one that I haven't had time to get into yet. Top Chef.
Top Chef? Mm-hmm. Of course.
Great. OG started even before the Housewives, I believe.
Oh, yeah. That's been I've definitely seen Top Chef. I didn't remember it was on Bravo.
Mm-hmm. I believe, Shaws of Sunset.
Shaws?
SHAHS of Sunset.
Not at all. I've never heard of that.
Okay. So Shaws of Sunset is no longer on. That was
Okay.
one of my gateways in. I love that
Oh.
show. It's about these wealthy Persians in West Hollywood, and
Oh.
I love it. It's
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, something about that one I loved. And Vanderpump was definitely, because it was when it started, it was like when I was new to LA and we're all just trying to make it as actors, and
Yeah.
you just get to see a lot of LA. Okay, curious. Okay,
I
now
love
this
I love watching stuff with LA in it, so that would be
me
fun.
too. Okay, that's good to know. Uh what is Scandival? Have you heard of that?
Scandival?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay, great.
Is that a show?
I'm just curious if you've heard of it. What might you think it might be?
Scandival?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a liqueur?
My God, this is the best. Your face.
Is it a liqueur?
A
Is it something?
liqueur. Is Scandival a liqueur? Oh,
It
that's
could be.
great. I'll tell you what it is later. I'm not even going to tell you. I can't tell
Okay.
you what Scandival is because I. ah,
Is it like a carnival but with scandal?
Scandal is part of it.
Yeah.
Uh, Great. It's associated with, let me ask you this. It's associated with a show, one of the famous shows. Any thoughts on what show that might be?
No.
Okay, great. This is great.
I
Uh,
mean, Vanderpump Rules.
yes, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. Is that
That
right?
is, yes, that's correct.
I
There
mean,
is,
because that's like the most famous one right now, right?
yeah,
Vanderpump Rules.
and
Yeah.
it's famous
That's what
because
everybody talks about.
it's because of Scandival. So you'll find
Oh.
out later. Well, I'm not going to tell you what the
Oh, it's
scandal
the
is.
restaurant. It's the restaurant. Is that the name of the restaurant?
No.
What?
Love that you think that's the name of the restaurant. I love that
Scandival.
that you thought it was a liqueur. I cannot. There is a
I mean, that was kind of
person.
a joke answer. That was kind
No,
of a
it
joke
was a
answer.
great answer. There is a person on that show whose last name is Sandoval.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is
Okay.
people were freaking out about
Yes.
some woman cheating on her boyfriend on
Yes.
camera or vice versa. Yeah.
Similar, something about it's sort of
And
like that.
so, okay, so people were calling that Scandival.
Scandival. But really, he was the
Oh,
cheater. Tom Sandoval is his name.
okay, okay,
And you're not so far off. He does sort of own, well, he owns a restaurant and sort of has stake in another one. So it's
okay.
just not called Scandival.
So Scandival isn't like something I could actually hold in my hands. It's the name
No,
of the situation
the
that happened.
situation. Yes. And I
Okay.
think it's a fair question though, because it was like in the New York Times. I mean, it was
It
like,
was
or
huge.
it was on CNN
It
or
was
something.
huge.
It
You're
was
right.
huge. Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I should have
Yeah.
known.
Um,
You're like,
I
yeah,
can
you are an idiot. You're
No,
an
I
idiot.
love it. I think I'm gonna save the next question for the
Okay.
next podcast because
Okay.
it's too fun, and we're going. We have so many different things. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you. I'm gonna share screen though. I have one other question I want to share my screen with. This segment I'm gonna do. It's called "What is the meme-ing of this?" All right, I'm gonna show you a
Okay.
meme. And then I want you to tell me what you think this means. Can you see it?
Yes. It says it's not about the pasta with an
Yeah.
upset man with a wave in his hair.
Yes, great. I love it.
It's not about the pasta. It's about our love. Is
Oh,
that right?
I love it. Yeah, take another guess.
It's not about the pasta. It's about how you cheated on me.
Great. Any other guesses? That was good.
It's not about the pasta. It's not about the pasta. It's about you drinking too much when we're out in public.
Very good. Very close. We are not quite 100% sure what it is. The rumor is that pasta means cocaine in this argument.
Oh,
but
So it was a code word.
they couldn't say it on camera. Now that has been debunked.
Oh,
It is pretty iconic though. It's not
okay.
about the pasta. I love that it's a man with a wave in his hair.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. This is the home stretch. The last thing I want to just focus on you and your interests, Carla, because that's going to help me decide where we start. Now,
Great.
I know you well because you're one of my
Yeah.
best friends. So I know you are interested in fashion.
Yeah.
Specifically, you collect fashion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question is, if you were to watch a show
Oh
and you
gosh.
wanted for the fashion, no, these are not trick questions. These are not
Okay.
even,
Okay.
these are more about you.
Okay.
So would you prefer to see like brand names like glitz, glam, or a little more like down to earth?
Hmm. Well, the fashion that I like isn't really like glitzy or name
Mhm.
brand. It's more like DIY kind of, like secondhand.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say down to earth.
Okay, great.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
great answer. Now, I will say maybe not a lot of these shows have that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is that even an option?
I just, though you collect vintage clothing, you
Yeah.
sell vintage clothing. If you want
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
plug your shop, go for it.
Okay. It's Jacaranda E Vintage.
Yeah.
So thank you, listeners.
It is adorable. You find such great fashion, and I am so bad at it. I am a very basic person. I'm like, what can I put together easily? And Carla always looks incredibly cute, which is one of the reasons I think you'll just enjoy these shows in general
I
because
think I will too.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of that Lukes, Lewks.
Yeah.
I feel,
Leaks.
yeah, a lot of Lukes. Um, and then, yeah, do you find it interesting to watch people who have a lot of money and wealth and that kind of a thing?
I do not.
Okay, so that might be a reason you might
Unless
not.
they're in pain.
Oh, well, then you might love these shows. Okay, great. I
And
love it.
what I mean by that is like I love those like Reese Witherspoon, Nicole
Yes,
Kidman, like murder on
totally.
the in San Francisco on
Yeah.
like,
On the beach. It's so,
yeah, yeah.
everything's so
I
comfy.
do love that stuff. So
Okay, great.
yes.
Great. I love it. You love soap operas, specifically old school soap operas.
Yeah.
What about in terms of soap operas? We talked about melodrama. If there was a fight, would you
Mm.
prefer it to be about something like really melodramatic, like someone cheating or someone committing a crime, or something like really petty, like, oh, you wore the same outfit to this event as
Oh.
I did?
Can I give a third answer?
Sure.
I think um physicality is very funny when people get so
Hmm.
upset and they can't help but not even like hit each other, but maybe like trip or drop something.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say like knock people's physicality. I was like, "Ooh, that's mean."
No, no,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no, no. Like where
okay,
they like are so upset that they're like spilling stuff.
yeah,
That makes
okay,
me laugh a lot
that's
because I can
great.
relate when I get upset. I start running into walls and things. So I'm not saying I want to see people beat the shit out of the crap out of each other. I'm just saying that would be funny to me if
That's
like, yeah,
so yeah, physical humor. Okay,
yeah,
there are some real fun things I can
yeah.
pull up from that. That is a
Okay,
great answer.
okay,
Thank
great.
you for that. The last two questions, based on kind of what I was just asking, why do you think people watch these shows? I told you why I watched it. Why do
Oh.
you think in general it's so fascinating? Because there are diehard fans.
Well, I'm a big fan of true crime. I'm not super proud of that.
Hmm.
And I'm starting to like become more aware of what I'm ingesting in that area. Ingesting,
Hmm.
consuming would be a better word.
Hmm.
And because it can be pretty bleak and also it gets to a certain point, it's like, why am I finding comfort in this? So in the
Hmm.
true crime area, there's something about like, oh, this horrific thing is happening outside of my world. Um, and it's like that weird instinct that you have when you're driving past an accident and you have to look at it, right?
Hmm.
I assume it's the same pleasure principle for these shows, these housewife Bravo shows, where it's like kind of like an accident that wouldn't happen in your house necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
but something about it just existing is fascinating to you. And that can become a source of comfort. And like, I'm assuming people like watch this to fall asleep. Like I watch New Girl.
Okay, great. I agree. I don't agree with the last part. I think I will, if I fall asleep, I am going to rewind and watch whatever
Okay,
I
okay.
missed.
I guess I meant like it's the kind of
It's
thing where you
comforting
watch
though.
it and then you'll like rewatch it as you're falling
Yes,
asleep.
100%.
Like that kind of thing is what
It's
I mean.
very fun to do rewatches.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, when I give you homework, I will be rewatching some things with you. I think you're pretty spot on. One of the reasons I think is because there's also like, it's not true crime per se, although there are some crimes on some of these shows.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's something for me to note in your interests as well. There is something about like the fights or sometimes the cliques or the mean girlness that may happen on some of these
Mm,
shows that I find comforting, not because I want people to be mean to each other. I hate it in life when that
yeah.
happens. But if you've ever been in a scenario and maybe you've been the victim of that, or you've been
Mm,
in, it feels like when you're watching it a little cathartic because you're like, well,
mm,
I'm not alone. And there are so many different reasons that people will, because it'll vary from season to season who's like the hero and who might be not the hero that year. So I think
yeah.
it's similar to the true crime thing. It's like, oh, it's not happening in my, not happening to me, or they do such ridiculous things where I can feel good, like, oh, I'm not such a bad person because I
Mm,
beat myself up every day over what I could have possibly done wrong in any scenario. And then you watch these over the top people do these things, and you're like, oh, well, at least I didn't do that. So
right. Right.
that's,
It's
and
like
also, yeah.
living out a fucked up fantasy.
Sort of, yeah. And there is something to like the glitz and the glam of it, which is kind of
Right.
fun. And then the other thing is, it's funny. I think it's funny. There are a
Yeah.
lot of really funny over the top things. So,
Yeah.
is there
Interesting.
anything I have so many other things I want to ask you, but I'm going to hold. Is there anything you want to ask me now that we've had this chat?
Is there anything I want to ask you? Nope.
Okay. It's totally okay if there is.
Sorry.
And that's okay. As we go on, I think it will get easier and easier for you to have more of
Yes.
a foothold, because right
Yeah.
now we've assessed it and you largely know nothing. And that is true.
It's
Like
true.
it is, sometimes when I said things, it would jog a little bit of a memory, and you took some good guesses. So
Yeah.
I kudos. It's no
Basically, all
pressure.
the shows happen in Atlanta with Lisa Vanderpump
Thank
and her liqueurs.
exactly.
That's what we learned from this session.
Exactly. Oh my
Great.
goodness. And then, yeah, so I have to now take this and decide where I want to start you. Do I want to
Okay.
start you on an iconic episode from a particular series? Because it's too big for you to like just start at the beginning and watch a whole thing. That said, I may show you a couple iconic things, and if they resonate, then maybe you'll hop back and watch some more of that franchise. Or maybe you'll be like, I want to know what's happening now in this franchise. And you could watch in real time, and then I could show you some classic episodes like, oh, that's referring to this. So I have to think about this.
Please,
Based.
I love that you're making the decisions. I'm just along for the ride. I love that I don't have to really do anything except
Mm-hmm.
show up. I feel
Yep.
bad for you, and you're a real trooper for doing all of this, but this
I
is
love
great.
it.
So whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. I don't
Okay.
think I have Bravo though. I just realized.
You don't? Do you have Peacock?
Yes.
Oh, you can. Peacock has everything.
Okay.
That's
Great.
all you need. Yeah. Peacock is
Woo! All
amazing.
right.
It has everything. So what I'm going to do, I mean, we're going to, like I said, we'll put this quiz up on our, what do you call We're going to put the quiz
Show
up in
notes.
our show notes, and it'll just be the quiz and the answers so that you can
Great.
reference it for everybody else. What I'm going to do is figure out where I want you to start, and then I'm going to record a segment and tell our listeners where you're starting. So,
Smart,
and then
efficient,
I'll tell
organized.
you privately. Yes, that's me.
You are all of these things.
I'm
That's
very
why
organized.
we are doing this together.
Yes. And then you will do your homework, Carla.
I will do my homework. I love homework. That's the thing.
Yes.
I do love homework.
Yeah. And then we'll come back and we'll chat about it. And then I'll probably have another quiz. And then we'll just keep going from the quizzes.
I love it.
We don't know where this is going to end up. So
I hope I get through Vanderpump because that's what everybody talks about.
It is. I may not start you there. I may.
People talk about it now. Okay, that's fine.
You there. We'll see.
That's fine.
There's a reason though. It kind of.
Should I look up Scandalava or whatever?
I would say hold off on that because we will touch on Vanderpump is possibly my favorite show of all of them and always has been. So when this happened, I was already on board. If you'd go in a deep dive of it now though, you're going to want to watch the whole thing. And there's like 11 seasons. So
of Vanderpump?
Yes. I did rewatch them all last year when this happened. And that is a true thing that I'm admitting to everyone right now.
Wait, how many episodes are in a season?
That's a great question. How many do you think?
Does it vary? 13.
Yeah. 13, sometimes 18. And yeah.
Are they an hour long?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Sometimes they're supersized. There's a lot going on, Carla. That's why we're gonna do this in a bite size. I'm not
okay. Thank you. I appreciate you paying attention to my mental health.
Yeah. Really, and what I might do is have you do an iconic episode from each franchise and then go from there. It might be fun to do that. We'll see.
Okay.
Not sure.
All right. I love it. Okay. I love it.
So this was more fun than I even thought. I hope you're all having fun listening. This is our very first podcast. So
yay.
We don't have any followers yet. And yay, though. Yay, because we are just doing this for fun. We hope to share it with people. So you want to sign out? Let's do our sign out.
Yeah, let's do our outro.
Okay. So we will be back next week with another episode. I've been Robyn Lynn Norris.
And I'm Carla Kakowski.
You go.
No, I was going to say, if you have a question you'd like to ask us, email us at theBravoBubble@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I looked at the wrong part of my sheet. That's what happened.
That's totally fine. No, I think it's adorable. Okay, we're doing great. Yes. You have carried so much this whole thing. You were allowed to have a mistake at the end.
We're going to have a super smooth outro on the next episode. For now, though, yes, I'm going to quiz you. Email us your questions, like Carla said. We would love to hear questions from you that maybe I missed because there's so many iconic things to ask. Also, follow us on social platforms. We're just getting started, so we would love for you to follow us on all platforms at The Bravo Bubble.
And if you've already loved all of this content for the past hour, whatever it's been, and you want to help us get the word out, it really helps if you can leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. So thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time when we burst your Bravo bubble. Whee! Bye. Hi, everyone. It's just me, Robyn. Carla is not here because I am about to give you her first assignment. And after that first quiz, I had to take some time and figure out where to start her. If you want to play along, you can find the quiz I gave Carla on the episode in the show notes. So if you haven't taken it or you want to give it to a friend to take it, go for it. Here is where I landed based off of her results. We're going with one of my favorite franchises, New York City. We're going to start in season 1, episode 6. The episode is called Girls' Night Out, and I will tell you why I chose it on the next episode. So if you've already seen it, rewatch it. You'll have a blast revisiting the old characters. And if you have never seen it, now's your time. And we will see you on our next episode of the Bravo Bubble, where we'll talk about it.